Welcome, dear tourists, to Brasov, Romania, a city nestled in the heart of the Carpathian Mountains. Our journey begins at the Council Square, Piața Sfășului, the vibrant hub of the city. Take in the picturesque surroundings, as the square is surrounded by colorful Baroque-style buildings that date back to the 15th century. Fun fact: in medieval times, this square was a bustling market and even hosted public executions. But don't worry, we've come a long way since then. From the Council Square, let's venture up to the Black Church, Biserica Neagră, one of the most iconic landmarks in Brasov. This impressive Gothic church earned its name after a devastating fire in 1689, which blackened its walls. Inside, you'll find a stunning collection of religious artifacts and an impressive 4,000-pipe organ. If you're lucky, you might catch one of their organ concerts, and you'll be blown away, pun intended. Now, let's make our way to the Tampa cable car station. Brace yourselves, because we're about to ascend the Tampa Mountain, where you'll be rewarded with breathtaking panoramic views of the city and the surrounding mountains. Oh, and keep an eye out for the Brasov sign on the mountainside. It's perfect for your Instagram selfies. After descending from Tampa, we'll stroll along the narrow, winding streets of the Shade District. This area has a rich history and was once a separate neighborhood for the Romanian inhabitants during the times of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Listen closely to the echoes of the past as we pass by charming houses, each with its own story to tell. Next on our itinerary is the first Romanian School Museum, located in the Shade District. Here, you'll step back in time to the 16th century and learn about the history of education in Romania. Fun fact: this is where the first Romanian language book was printed, making it an essential part of our cultural heritage. Now, let's head to the White Tower, Turnul Alb, which once formed part of the city's fortifications. As you ascend the narrow stairs, you might find yourself a bit out of breath, but the view from the top is totally worth it. Trust me, it's a view that's more rewarding than climbing Mount Everest. Okay, maybe not quite that much, but it's still pretty amazing. As we continue our journey, let's take a moment to explore the Rope Street, Strada Sforiei, one of the narrowest streets in Europe. It's so narrow that you can almost reach out and touch both sides with your outstretched arms. But don't worry, no need to go on a diet. The street was initially built this way for strategic defense purposes. Our next stop is the Black Tower, Turnul Negru, which provides yet another great vantage point over the city. From here, you can spot some of Brasov's other landmarks, including the Black Church and the Tampa Mountain. Oh, and if you're wondering, no, the tower didn't get its name from being blackened by a fire. It's just a coincidence. Now, let's head to the Catherine's Gate, Porta Ecaterinei, the only original medieval gate that's still standing in Brasov. This gate was built in 1559 and served as an entrance point into the fortified city. As you pass under its arch, you might feel like you're stepping back in time, but don't worry, you haven't accidentally entered a time machine. To wrap up our tour, we'll visit the Brasov Citadel, Cetatea Brasovului, a site that holds centuries of history within its walls. Though much of the citadel has been destroyed over time, you can still explore the remnants and imagine what life was like within these fortifications. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Brasov, Romania, and that it has left you with lasting memories and a desire to return. Remember, history doesn't have to be boring, and jokes can be found even in the most historic places. Until we meet again, dear tourists, may your travels be filled with adventure and laughter.